Hello, I'm Howard Stableford. Welcome to Concept Cars, the only TV series that specialises in the very latest automotive designs and technologies.
And I'm Adrian Bell, and between us, we'll be your hosts for this series as we show you some incredible concepts on wheels.
Some are beautiful, some are practical, and some are just plain daft.
In this week's program, we'll go behind the scenes of Volvo's Test and Design Centre in Stockholm as we follow the creation of the YCC, the first concept car to be created by an all-woman team.
And we'll take a peek at Lady P's Thunderbirds roller, created by Ford. It's pink. See what you think.
But we will be featuring a real roller as well as visiting the wacky world of this year's Japan Ideas Expo.
Now, wouldn't it be great if you could own the car that you always dreamed of as a child? You know, the car you had a scale model of and looked at up very close to make it look really big. Hey, watch out, don't play with it too close to the edge or... Oh dear, that car's gone in the drink for good. Years later, and we find that little boy has grown up into a successful concept car test driver. And what a concept! This is from the Swiss company Rinspeed. It's eye-catching and sporty, and what's more, it's magical.
Oh yeah, this concept is magical. You know, Howard, what I love about these promotional videos is when crazy things happen. This guy stops his car as he fancies plucking an orange from a nearby tree, you know, like you do. Then he turns back, and guess what? A pretty girl has appeared in the passenger seat. Well, forget the fruit, this guy has now got a much juicier proposition in tow.
Now, Adrian, this is a serious concept that demands respect. This Rinspeed concept has great on-road performance, is sure-footed off-road, and is even environmentally friendly as well, with an efficient natural gas power plant. Plus, the real magic happens when a flap comes down at the rear of this curious concept. Guess what happens next? Yes, the car gracefully drives into the lake. That's right, it's an aqua car.
Is that it?
What do you mean, is that it?
Howard, this concept is a little, well, disappointing. We've seen amphibious cars before. Somebody who enjoys the thrill of performance cars won't want to poodle around a lagoon at half a knot being laughed at by assorted seabirds.
My dear boy, have patience. This Rinspeed concept has a few more levers to pull yet. This car has more gadgets than James Bond's watch. The car's called the Splash, and that's exactly what it's going to make, because when there's a little more power on the pedal, we find the car transforms into a hydrofoil speedboat.
Wow, that's more like it. That's never been done before. It's nuttier than a squirrel's nest in winter. Fantastic.
Well, the Rinspeed Splash transforms itself within 15 seconds from a driving car into a swimming car, meaning amphibious, and within another 20 seconds into a flying car by means of hydrofoils, which lifts the car up 2.5 feet over the water surface. It is powered by a very small engine, which is normally used in snowmobiles and watercrafts with only 750 cc's, yet it produces 140 horsepower. Its top speed on land is 200 kilometers, equals to about 130 miles an hour, about 30 miles on water and 50 miles in the flying hydrofoil status. It is powered by gasoline and natural gas because also the technology of reducing CO2 emissions for future automobiles wants to be emphasized on the Splash.
Now, when you've enjoyed an exhilarating ocean drive, why not enjoy a dive into the clear blue waters and pick up a few aquatic trinkets from the local mermaids?
But hang on a second, Howard. What's that in her hand? It can't be.
It is.
But I thought that the little boy dropped it over the side into the water. And now, after all those years, the grown-up lad gets it back again. Oh, I love happy endings.
Well, not exactly happy. The bloke's new girlfriend turns out to be a mermaid herself. See the tale? So she swims off with her fishy friends. The one that got away, eh?
Let's hear more from Frank, the guy at Rinspeed who's behind this technology breakthrough.
The Rinspeed Splash was built to show our capabilities in technology. It also means to show new visions, yet on the other hand, it's a dream to come true, a dream people have that a ultimate machine should drive, swim and fly. It's a prototype, it won't be built in neither big or small series. It's meant to tour after its introduction at the Geneva Motor Show around the shows in the world. The objective was that it looks like a normal car on the road, that you cannot see into what form the car will transform itself. So this was the major task for the designers and the engineers, to package the whole foil system and drive system into a car to make it watertight, ready to be swim and to fly on its hydrofoils.
So we say farewell to the Rinspeed Splash concept, the sports car which is an aqua car and a hydrofoil as well, and sure pulls the mermaids.
You know, all car companies are trying to get their product into movies these days, even if the cars are concepts that you can't buy. But take a look at this. Reminds you of a Ford Thunderbird, right? But it's a Thunderbird of a different kind. For this is the luxurious transport of Lady Penelope Creighton Ward in the new live-action version of the old 1960s puppet series, Thunderbirds. Ford's involvement with the movie has been to assist in the development of this Fab 1 limousine, a stunning pink 27-foot six-wheel vehicle which can transform between car, jet plane and hydrofoil.
Blimey, it sounds like that last car, the Rinspeed Splash. But I heard, Adrian, that there are some Ford production cars dotted around the movie as well.
Oh yes, Howard. Even the new Focus C-Max will feature inappropriate scenes. Ooh, they've got to get the product in. But for me, the new Fab 1 looks absolutely stunning. Huge, powerful, and of course very, very pink. I'd love to give you more details and information on the engine size and on-road performance. However, as is the case with all international rescue machines, technical details and the impressive list of equipment fitted to Fab 1 must remain secret.
Back in the real world, Rolls-Royce proper have had some fun with their first ever concept. Shown first at the 2004 Geneva show, it was created to mark the company's 100th anniversary, and the buzz on the stand was that it could give some clues to the upcoming Phantom convertible.
I think this experimental convertible looks amazing. It's based on an aluminium space frame with two suicide doors. It shares the Phantom suspension and steering geometry, but is fractionally shorter and lower. This concept is powered by a massive 9-liter V16 engine. What a gas guzzler!
The design of the 100EX is an evolution of the Phantom, with a reworked smoother grille and a new light treatment. The rear of the car tails off in a boat-like style, and the hood stows very neatly and compactly thanks to a cleverly designed retraction mechanism. The boot lid is split, and this enables it to be folded outwards to form a platform for sitting on, ideal for picnics or watching one's horses run at escort perhaps. It's quite appropriate that alongside the first Rolls-Royce experimental car is the one commissioned by Mr. Royce himself back in 1928.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, Howard and myself present to you the pictures from this year's Toyota Ideas Expo in Japan.
Okay, you wake up one morning and you think to yourself, I know what I'll do today. I'll transform my video cabinet into a means of transport. Or, as this clever little chap calls it, a one-wheeled skateboard. This is one of a wonderful weekend of concept car madness in Tokyo.
Yes, this is Toyota's annual Idea Expo, where thousands gather in order to see what weird and wonderful concepts have been cooked up this year. And who can argue? Just look at that. Sort of mushroom board. I love mushrooms as I'm a fun guy. Aside from obviously silly concepts, all of which do look great fun, there are actually a few really good ideas floating around. Now, nobody can possibly say that this is a practical mode of transport, but at least you have to admit that these people are trying to push back the boundaries of automotive technologies.
This, for example, looks and no doubt feels great. No more rowing at the gym for her then. She could actually travel to the gym on this. Not that she'd need to do anything when she got there, mind. I'm not quite so sure about how it would fare on the road, though. Not with wild cats like this gentleman hot on her tail. It seems as though the Japanese can modify anything these days. Cars, bikes, road signs. There it is, a mobile bus stop. Like I said, anything can be modified. But not everything at Toyota's Idea Expo followed this particular man's ethos. Take this primitive beast for example. Lean forward, go forward. A lazy man's dream.
Now look at this, strangely dubbed the amazing car. These chunky little wash baskets cleverly assembled together to produce what can only be described as the amazingly daft car. Onto the awards ceremony, and despite a whole plethora of concepts being fruitier than a bowl of apples, Toyota had to pick a winner. And here she is, the pink lady as it were, the gold medalist of this year's Toyota Idea Expo. Yes, it's a motorized slug. Not that the competition wasn't fierce, already dressed for the throne, this skinny little hover king looked good for the gold.
That's all for part 1. Join us soon for an exclusive look behind the scenes at Volvo's YCC concept car creation in Sweden. Welcome back to Concept Cars, as we now look in exclusive detail at a futuristic concept that, from a distance, has all the trademarks of the parent company Volvo. But as you get closer, you'll see all sorts of clever designs that make this a world apart from their staid designs of the past.
It's true that Volvo has in the past been famous for its square and boxy estates, but this is certainly a turn for the better. Plus, something else different about this concept is that it's been designed by an all-woman team. This smacks of a little marketing gimmick by Volvo, doesn't it?
It's by women, and that's because we wanted to see what would happen if we had women in the decision-making positions and also to prioritize. Our car is great because it combines things that hasn't been combined before. So we have a sporty coupe, a really emotional vehicle. You know, it's an animal, but it's also functional because you can store lots of things. We wanted to go all the way out with storage, and then also that you will sit really good, have good visibility, and a good ergonomic situation in the car. You feel comfortable in it. It's not too big, it's not too small, and that's what we wanted.
But what's the real reason why Volvo decided that a concept car had to be created by an all-woman team? Alarm bells started ringing at Volvo when this bit of astonishing data came into the marketing office.
In the USA and Canada, 53% of Volvo buyers are women.
However, in Europe, this figure plummets to only 14%. So Volvo decided to design a European car for women, by women.
It started in 2001 when we had a woman called Marti Valletta, an American woman at Volvo, and she was talking about how to cater better for women's needs, women as a customer. And after that seminar, on the way out, the thought and the idea was born, well, what if only women made a car? What would that look like? And 6 months later, we got the chance to present the idea to Hans-Olof Olsson, who's president and CEO of Volvo Cars. And he said, interesting. Do that, or make a feasibility study. So we did, and we got the final okay in December 2002. So we've been working flat out for 14 months.
This concept is called the YCC, or Your Concept Car, which may not be a remarkable name, but the interior certainly is. Using high-tech Swedish-style colours and textures which have rip-off, stick-on covers to match your clothes or mood, the YCC looks lovely for drivers and passengers, and practicality touches include hidden storage areas and easy loading features. But what was the designer's initial brief?
They said, we want to do a car that is sporty, smart and safe. And they said, can you do a sketch? And I said, sure. And after that it all started.
The car looks great on the stand at a car show, but we managed to get our cameras behind the scenes of the whole project, and here's how it starts out. Weight distribution is a key factor in the early stages. Carefully placed beanbags on a balanced frame show the designers how best to place each part.
So what's going on behind this closed door, and why are they wearing breathing masks? Well, the glues and resins in the atmosphere in this special room are enough to knock out an elephant. So just think about our film crew. Do you know how difficult it is to operate a camera with a breathing mask on? Here the different fabric types and designs are decided upon, colour matched and then placed on the wood and polystyrene. But maybe they're being a bit premature. There's an issue with the basic shape of the seats.
And you know, Howard, we found there was much discussion over the position of the pedals and the general ergonomics. The team even changed shoes to test out the varying types of footwear. It was really fascinating to see behind the scenes of an all-new car.
This may be virtually an all-woman project, but the guys have just got to come in to see the progress on the new gull-wing doors. It's just like the DeLorean. Up she rises for the first time. All together now. Ooh. Months later, the shell is showing some shape, and so is the revolutionary storage console. The amount of man and woman hours involved in putting a concept car together is incredible. And this particular car isn't just going to be a pretty shell for a show stand. It needs to be a fully working prototype.
Well now, we watched the cinema-style seats being installed, and piece by piece everything was put on, checked and rechecked. The installation of the dash is a tricky process. Remember, this isn't a production line machine, but a unique concept that will cost $1 million to create. Literally £1 million. This is not just some tinkering in your garage.
Well, we now know what you like to do in your garage at the weekend, Adrian. By the way, I love these shots you got. The time-lapse camera showing the Volvo YCC taking shape from start to finish.
And you know, they had to work fast so it could appear at the Geneva show. And here it is on the stand. Here's a clever touch which maybe only a woman in a long dress would appreciate. Getting into a muddy car can be a real pain for keeping your clothes clean. With this concept, however, the door sill rotates as you enter to always present you with a clean side. And when you're inside, through those lovely gull-wing doors, the YCC is determined to make you comfortable.
Another thing we concentrated on is ergonomics and vision, meaning that you should be able to reach everything and see out through the windscreen, and preferably at the same time. So we combined them in something that we call ErgoVision. And what that does is that when you buy your car, you go to a Volvo dealer and you scan your body, and your measurements get stored in the key. And then when you dock the key in here, the car recognizes your measurements and recommends a seating position for you that suits your body. So the seat will move, the pedals will move, the steering wheel, the head restraint and the safety belt to get the best seating positions, because you have everything within reach and you have a perfect vision.
The team at Volvo commissioned studies into how we all use our cars and determined that most car designers have got things wrong in the past.
Then we have this thing, that's storage. Storage, which is not only where do you put your handbag, because most women I know, they put their handbag on the passenger seat and then they have a passenger that will hold it, or you put it on the back, or you throw it on the floor and the phone rings, and it's just really not a good solution. But it's not only that, it's all the other things we carry around. The mobile phones, the keys, the bags with training clothes, all the stuff, the laptops. You know that the most common place to store a mobile phone today is actually in a cup holder. So we thought, the best place really to store something in the car is between the seat. But that area is normally taken already by a gear shift and a parking brake. So we said, do they have to live there? No. So we shifted them. So we made the parking brake electronic, and we put the steering wheel, or the gear change in here. This is the gear change on the steering wheel. So what we then got is a fantastic opportunity to storage. So here you have shallow storage for mobile phones, for cups, for whatever. And wow, here you can put a good size handbag and you have it right at the tip of your fingers. Trash, very important. And then you have another storage, deep storage here, where you can put a bag about this size, not a problem. And behind that you have a cool box, which you can reach from the driver's seat, so you just can get your cold drinks from in there.
Storage is of key importance in interior design, and that's why the YCC team spent so much time and effort in getting it right in the overall package. Now, where would you put your wallet safely in your car if you really had to leave it there? Under the seat? Glove box? No. think again.
This is a locked space. If you put your wallet here and close the door, it doesn't matter how many times they break the glass, because they won't get those things either. So they really, it's in a safe built into the car.
The exterior styling is neat and functional, and the rear area isn't painted metal, but a soft plastic material.
We wanted to have this rubber-like finish, almost like a bumper car, so that you would feel that the car is not so elegant and so fragile that you're scared of using it. We said you should be able to use this car, have fun with it, and really drive. And especially in Europe, driving situations can be tight, and that's why the whole rear end is this bumper material.
Now, what do you think of the color of the car? And that paint finish is special as well. It's dirt-repellent paint as developed for the garbage trucks down the road from me in New York City. Hey, who wants to wash cars, right? Plus, there's no mucking about with fuel filler caps at petrol stations. It has a ball valve, like on racing cars. And they've thought about easy parking too, with onboard sensors telling you if a space you've passed is big enough to reverse into. The Volvo YCC may have been designed by an all-woman team, but this ain't no cute chick car. Hey, it's not even pink.
Well, we hope you've enjoyed this week's Concept Cars. Join Adrian and myself next time for some more beautiful, bizarre, or just plain balmy creations.
Take care. See you soon.